This animal is endangered due to habitat destruction. The overall number of older pines which they live in and the size of the forest have both been decreased. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the red cockaded woodpecker has recovered enough to be downlisted from endangered to threatened, both in captivity and in the wild. The bird once occurred across much of the southeastern United States and longleaf pine forest, but was federally protected as endangered in 1970. Protecting the woodpeckers has been long seen as the key to protecting the health of a few remaining tracts of the distinctive longleaf pine forest and the various other species that rely on that ecosystem.
If there were no birds, the 3 to 5% pollination they provide would not happen, and we would have that much less of the economical, important crops and medicinal plants. Pest control wouldn't exist, and many plants and trees would be destroyed, causing economic impact to vulnerable communities and/or compel farmers to utilize more or stronger pesticides, further degrading our food supply. It will cause a severe impact on our ecological system and way of living. Without trees, formerly forested areas would become drier and more prone to extreme droughts. When rain did come, flooding would be disastrous. Massive erosion would impact oceans, smothering coral reefs and other marine habitats. Not to mention, without trees converting CO2 to oxygen, CO2 levels would begin to rise while oxygen levels would steadily fall.
This species is worth saving because of their contribution to the ecosystem. Their species falls under the secondary consumer trophic level, which contributes largely to the ecosystem. In order to help the red cockaded woodpecker, the Conservancy has undertaken careful restoration and management at the Disney Wilderness Preserve. After 20 years of this work, the area supports the species again. People should be more considerate of the world around them, and damaging the tiniest little creature can push the whole ecosystem out of control. The common name for the animal is the red cockaded woodpecker. The scientific name is the Leucontopicus borealis.
Animal location has been excavated from the northern part of the range. They are now found in a patchy distribution from Virginia south to Florida and west to Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. They make their homes in mature pine forests, while other woodpeckers bore out captivities in dead trees where the wood is fine and soft. The red cockaded woodpecker is one which excavates captivities that are exclusively in living pine trees.
Protecting the woodpecker has long been seen as key to protecting the health of few remaining tracts of the distinctive longleaf pine forest and the various other species that rely on that ecosystem. The birds excavate their own nest cavities, which later provide nesting habitat for other cavity users, including red-headed woodpecker and eastern bluebird, along with mammals such as flying squirrels. Woodpeckers are master carpenters of the bird world and are called keystone species for their crucial role in creating habitat suited to other woodland wildlife.
The woodpecker's habitat consists of forests, woodlots, willows, hedgerows, orchards, shade trees, found in wide variety of habitats from wilderness areas to second growth woods to suburban yards, but generally favors deciduous trees.
Currently, there are an estimated 14,068 red cockaded woodpeckers living in 5,627 known active clusters across 11 states. They eat mostly insects, but feed mainly on insects and other arthropods, especially ants and beetles, also termites, roaches, centipedes, and others.
In adulthood, woodpeckers are prey for feral cats, bobcats, foxes, hawks, and of course, coyotes. The number of offspring of red cockaded woodpeckers typically lay 3 eggs, and offspring aren't allotropical, meaning they require parental care after hatching until they fledge.
The red cockaded woodpecker has been on the endangered species list since October 1970, under a law that preceded the Endangered Species Act of 1973. The primary threat for these birds is their habitat destruction. The overall number of older pines and the size of forests have both decreased.
What can be done for these woodpeckers are facing an increasingly serious threat that might jeopardize the past 50 years of conservation. A changing climate that will bring increasingly frequent and powerful storms to their coastal populations, combined with the government moving to roll process to make new ones can take years, making it difficult to find in the forests. Artificial nest cavities are key conservation measure for red Cockaded woodpeckers, providing them to a breeding home in young long-leaf pines the birds would otherwise be able to excavate.
Interesting characteristics about this animal are that they are adapted from the age of dinosaurs and are common in a lot of places, as well as South Carolina. Red Cockaded woodpeckers are a keystone species, which is a species that other wildlife depends on. Despite their name, they are largely black and white, with a large, bright white cheek patch and a bold black molar stripe forming the lower border of the cheek. The red cockade is one of the only features that distinguishes a male from a female. Both males and females have grayish-white bellies and black and white striped backs. Red cockaded woodpeckers are small avians that are 7.8 to 9.1 inches in length and with a 14-inch wingspan.
Red Cockaded woodpeckers have been reported living up to 12 years, but the average lifespan is lower. The woodpeckers live in mature pine forests that are maintained by fire. Mature trees are preferred over young ones for two reasons. First, young trees may not be large enough in diameter for cavity excavation. Second, mature trees are more likely to be infected with a fungus called red heart disease. This makes the wood of the tree softer and easier for woodpecker to remove. Fire is important because it keeps the